Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for July 21st, read by Sarah M. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. AA Thoughts for the Day. Defects. What we must recognize now is that we exult in some of our defects. We really love them. Who, for example, doesn't like to feel just a little superior to the next fellow, or even quite a lot superior? Isn't it true that we like to let greed masquerade as ambition? To think of liking lust seems impossible. But how many men and women speak love with their lips and believe what they say, so they can hide lust in a dark corner of their minds? And even while staying within conventional bounds, many people have to admit that their imaginary sex excursions are apt to be all dressed up as dreams of romance. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, pages 66 to 67. Thought to consider. If I want God to remove my character defects, I'll have to stop doing them. AA acronyms. BATH, B-A-T-H, behavior, attitude, thinking, and habits. Just for today, control the situation from Bill's story. Liquor ceased to be a luxury. It had become a necessity. Bathtub gin, 2 bottles a day, and often 3, got to be routine. Sometimes a small deal would net a few $100s, and I would pay my bills at the bars and delicatessens. This went on endlessly, and I began to waken very early in the morning shaking violently. A tumbler full of gin, followed by a half-dozen bottles of beer, would be required if I were to eat any breakfast. Nevertheless, I still thought I could control the situation, and there were periods of sobriety which renewed my wife's hope. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 5. Daily Reflections. Priceless Gift. By this time, in all probability, we have gained some measure of release from our more devastating handicaps. We enjoy moments in which there is something like real peace of mind. To those of us who have hitherto known only excitement, depression, or anxiety, in other words, to all of us, this newfound peace is a priceless gift. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 74. I am learning to let go and let God, to have a mind that is open and a heart that is willing to receive God's grace in all my affairs. In this way, I can experience the peace and freedom that come as a result of surrender. It has been proven that an act of surrender, originating in desperation and defeat, can grow into an ongoing act of faith, and that faith means freedom and victory. Copyright 1990, Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc. As Bill Sees It, the Hour of Decision. Not all large decisions can be well made by simply listing the pros and cons of a given situation, helpful and necessary as this process is. We cannot always depend on what seems to us to be logical. When there is doubt about our logic, we wait upon God and listen for the voice of intuition. If, in meditation, that voice is persistent enough, we may well gain sufficient confidence to act upon that rather than upon logic. If, after an exercise or of these two disciplines, we are still uncertain, then we should ask for further guidance and, when possible, defer important decisions for a time. By then, with more knowledge of our situation, logic and intuition may well agree upon a right course. But if the decision must be now, let us not evade it through fear. Right or wrong, we can always profit from the experience. Letter 1966. A continuous look at our assets and liabilities, and a real desire to learn and grow by this means, are necessities for us. We alcoholics have learned this the hard way. More experienced people, of course, in all times and places have practiced unsparing self-survey and criticism. 12 and 12, page 88. Big Book Quote. My old manner of life was by no means a bad one, but I would not exchange its best moments for the worst I have now. I would not go back to it, even if I could. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition, More About Alcoholism, page 43. Our liquor was but a symptom. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition, How It Works, page 64. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. If we feel the need to say something to put another member on the right track, we should try to say it with understanding and sympathy, not with a critical attitude. We should keep everything out in the open and above board. The AA program is wonderful, but we must really follow it. We must all pull together, or we'll all be sunk. We enjoy the privilege of being associated with AA, and we are entitled to all its benefits. But gossip and criticism are not tolerance, and tolerance is an AA principle that is absolutely necessary to group unity. Am I truly tolerant of all my group's members? Meditation for the day. Faith can move mountains. That expression means that faith can change any situation in the field of personal relationships. If you trust Him, God shows you the way to move mountains. If you are humble enough to know that you can do little by yourself to change a situation, if you have enough faith to ask God to give you the power you need, and if you are grateful enough for the grace He gives you, you can move mountains. Situations will be changed for the better by your presence. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may have enough faith to make me really effective. I pray that I may learn to depend less on myself and more on God. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota, 55012. I'm Sarah, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc. 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, or 2001.